To other news now, North Korea defied the world again this past week, and it's raised new concerns over its nuclear program. You may recall that state media said it successfully launched that long-range rocket carrying a satellite into orbit. The United States condemned the move. Can anything be done to stop their continuing nuclear and ballistic missile program? Congressman Ed Royce, he's a Republican from California and is the incoming chairman of the House Committee on Foreign Affairs. Congressman Royce, welcome. Thanks for being with us this Sunday morning.
Good to be with you, Eric.
You know, when it comes to North Korea, a lot of people just think they're nuts. I mean, you know, they don't care about their neighbors. They don't care about it, the international community. They don't care about the Security Council. They're hostile, belligerent, and a danger. China's their protector. What can we do?
One of the things that we've done in the past, which was highly successful, was basically to blacklist the banks that were doing business with North Korea. Remember, they have to get hard currency. They don't produce anything. And so when we found that they were counterfeiting $100 bills, we began a process of actually freezing those accounts, not allowing those banks to do business with the West. And of course, the bank said, all right, then in that case, we will not run money through this account for North Korea. We'll freeze it. As a result, Kim Jong-il at the time was not able to pay his generals or carry out his weapons program. Well, the State Department lifted, you know, those sanctions, but we should redeploy those sanctions.
Wait, let me stop here for a second. Who lifted them? Why did they lift them? And was it an attempt to try to give them some carrots, hoping that it'll change their behavior?
Right. For the last 18 years, as you know, there's been this effort off and on to give carrots. We've transferred billions of dollars in food aid. South Korea also has transferred a lot of aid. And so as a consequence, according to defectors from North Korea, what we've really done is to help fund their nuclear program through this process. Those defectors, senior defectors, are now telling us we should shut down the effort to transfer and instead focus on what we can do to interdict the ships that leave North Korea with weapons, which occasionally we do, as you know, but we should step that up. Put the sanctions back on the bank accounts so that they can't get the hard currency, and start broadcasting with a tougher message into North Korea to reach the North Korean people, just as we used to do into the East Bloc.
So you're saying the Obama administration lifted this, and the result is we get another rocket?
No. It was lifted actually under the Bush administration.
Okay. Well, then that seems to be a mistake.
And so we've had problems for the... Well, that was a blunder. And we've had this problem off and on, as I say, through the last 3 administrations. And so the time has really come at this point for a different approach. This approach hasn't worked.
So whether it's the Bush
administration...
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. We're basically out of time. But whether it's the Bush administration, the Obama administration, the Clinton administration had that deal, the food and fuel deal, and that didn't deter them. So bottom line...
Not only...
Go ahead.
Yeah. It actually empowered them, because during that time they were selling the ability to Syria to make a nuclear device. In 2007, that was taken out by the Israeli Air Force that took out that facility. But they were... The North Korean scientists were building a nuclear bomb, basically, for the Syrians at the time. This launch was an advertising ploy here to show that they can now deliver a 3-stage ICBM, which potentially could hit the United States. And so that's why we need to act now. There's reports in the South Korean media that Iranian scientists were on hand for this launch. So clearly, since they're transferring this technology, selling technology, you know, to Iran, to Pakistan, to Egypt with the Scud technology now, to the Muslim Brotherhood, the report last week on that. Now is the time, really, for us to work in concert to try to shut down this program.
All right, so maybe Congressman Ed Royce, a message to potentially incoming Secretary of State John Kerry to change that Bush administration proposal and plan and get those financial sanctions back on. Congressman Royce, thank you so much for joining us on
Thank you.
Obviously a difficult Sunday. Thank you, sir. Jamie?
Thank you.
Back to our top story.